Have you ever faced a failure so public, so spectacular, that it felt absolutely final? A moment where everything you worked for not only crumbled, but became a punchline. Today, we're telling a story about exactly that. It's a story about a brilliant inventor named Alex, and a failure that almost buried a dream, but ended up revealing a path to something far greater. Our story begins in a sterile, high-stakes presentation room. Alex, an inventor full of passion, but worn down by the grind, is making the pitch of a lifetime. On the screen is their life's work, a revolutionary water purification device. It uses a special nanomesh filter that doesn't just trap contaminants, but breaks them down at a molecular level. No waste, no replacement parts, just clean, sustainable water. Alex's partner, Jordan, sits anxiously by, managing the presentation. They show a video of the device in action, turning muddy water crystal clear. Field tests show a nearly 100% efficacy rate. This should be a slam dunk. But the potential investor, a polished and skeptical man named Rivera, isn't impressed. He leans back and cuts straight to the heart of the problem. "Let's talk about the elephant in the room," he says. "The Lagos incident." Alex's confidence falters. They explain it was a prototype test under extreme, unforeseen conditions. Voltage surge they've since engineered out. But Rivera is relentless. He says it didn't just fail. It failed spectacularly. It actually made the water worse. A photo of brown bubbling sludge from that test went viral, turning their miracle device into a global joke known as the sludge machine. Jordan tries to interject, explaining that the new patents include safeguards, but Rivera isn't listening. He looks directly at Alex. "Perception is the final product," he states coldly. "You're not just selling a filter, you're selling trust," and that trust bubbled over. He tells Alex his board sees them as a liability, as a final failure, and with that, he gathers his things and leaves. The click of the closing door is deafening. Alex stares at the blank screen, utterly defeated. "He's right," Alex says. "The fight completely gone. It's over." Months pass. We find ourselves in Alex and Jordan's workshop, but it feels more like a tomb. Prototypes are covered in dust. Boxes are half-packed, one ominously labeled cell. Jordan is trying to get through the grim task of shutting everything down. The servers are going offline. The lease is up. But Alex isn't packing. Instead, they're staring at the disassembled parts of the infamous Lagos prototype, the very machine that ruined them. Jordan gently reminds them they need to clear out. But Alex has a strange, distant look in their eyes. "What if we were looking at it wrong?" Alex asks. Jordan sighs, having heard this before. "We looked at it every way possible. It failed." But Alex insists. "No, it didn't fail. We asked it to do one thing, purifying. But under that insane voltage surge, it didn't just stop working. It transformed. It became something else." Jordan points out the obvious. It became toxic sludge. But Alex is on a different track. They were so obsessed with fixing the purification function, they never stopped to ask what the sludge actually was. Alex frantically digs out an old, coffee-stained lab report from the post-mortem. Reading through the frantic notes, their voice quickens. Unexpected catalytic reaction. Anomalous polymer chains. Alex looks from the report to the core component of the device. What if this thing, under catastrophic failure, isn't a water purifier at all? Jordan is at the end of their rope. They're out of money, out of time. They see this as a form of grief, a refusal to let go. But Alex's eyes are alive with a fire Jordan hasn't seen in months. "I'm not grieving," Alex says. "I'm excavating. Help me." One last test. Not for purifying water. Alex wants to recreate the Lagos surge, but this time feed the machine a different material, industrial waste stream. Jordan, seeing this last spark of obsession as the only thing they have left, reluctantly agrees. One test, then we pack. For real, later that night, the workshop is a makeshift lab. The device hums, hooked up to overclocked power supplies. A beaker of vile chemical runoff is fed into it. Jordan stands by with a fire extinguisher, ready for another disaster. Alex initiates the surge sequence. The device whines, lights flicker, and a worrying crackle fills the air. They both flinch, expecting the worst. But there's no sludge. Instead, a fine, gray, pebble-like material is collecting in the output tray. After the machine powers down, Alex, with trembling hands, picks up one of the pebbles. It's light, porous. What is it? Jordan asks. Alex rushes to an old spectrometer and scans the sample. As the data scrolls across the screen, Alex's expression shifts from confusion to staggering disbelief. It's a binding aggregate, Alex whispers, then translates for Jordan. High porosity, incredible tensile strength when mixed with a cement slurry. Jordan is stunned. Alex stands up, their voice shaking with revelation. When this thing fails on contaminated water, it makes a toxic mess. But when it fails on certain chemical waste streams, it doesn't purify them. It transmutes them. The process was sequestering the toxic elements and outputting a near-perfect, lightweight concrete additive. The realization dawns on them. Their water purifier was a failure, yes, but as an industrial waste processor and construction material generator, it was revolutionary. We weren't building a filter, Alex says, awestruck. We were accidentally building a transmuter. We just had the wrong input. Our final failure? It was a door. 1 year later, the scene is another presentation, but the vibe is completely different. The space is more industrial, less slick. The audience isn't venture capitalists, but engineers and representatives from construction, recycling, and environmental remediation. Alex stands confidently before them. On the screen is a new, robust machine, the Alchemist unit. Alex tells the audience, we stopped trying to fix the perceived failure. We started listening to what the failure was actually telling us. The Lagos incident wasn't the end of our road. It was a sign we were on the wrong road entirely. The new pitch is powerful. They don't offer purification. They offer transformation. The ability to turn a company's most expensive liability chemical waste to a high-value carbon-negative building product. Jordan, now with a genuine smile, hands out samples of the new material, Aggregatex, to the fascinated audience. Our final scene is in Alex's new office. It's small, but outside the window, a working pilot plant hums with activity. Alex is holding a chunk of Aggregatex in one hand and a faded photo of the Lagos sludge in the other. They place the photo on the desk, not with bitterness, but with respect, like a foundational stone. The phone rings. It's a project manager from Rotterdam. The preliminary load-bearing tests on Aggregatex are in, and the numbers aren't just good, they're category-defining. A slow, deep smile spreads across Alex's face as they look out at the plant, where their failure is now hard at work. Send them over, Alex says, into the phone, their voice full of quiet awe. Let's see what we've built. This story is a powerful reminder. Sometimes, our greatest failures aren't endings. They are course corrections. They are signposts, pointing us toward a different, perhaps even greater, destiny than the one we had planned. The key is to stop seeing the failure as a final verdict, and start seeing it as data, as a message. What looked like a final, humiliating end for Alex was actually the beginning of something truly world-changing. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more content that explores the hidden opportunities within our biggest challenges. See you next time.